This is Phase Ed Music. This is Phase Ed Music. This is Phase Ed Music.
Oh, hi.
Live. Set the camera up.
Oh, hello. Can I take the skelly out of it?
I guess we're live, so everybody, welcome. Thanks for tuning in this week to another episode of That Fantasy Show as we're just getting underway. Kind of under a time crunch this week. We got some cute faces in the building today. Ella, who do we have with us?
We have Miss Amelia. Hi.
Okay. As we're getting ready for week 11 of That Fantasy Show, things are off to a little bit of a rocky start this morning, but we are exactly on time. That's one thing we've always shot for, so congratulations for that. I'm going to get the sound effect for that. Woo, 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 woo. Okay, what do we got going on? So thanks everyone for tuning in. Our small group of followers, we love you. We appreciate you. We got some of the nieces in the house this evening as we're going to kick off week 11 in the NFL season and in fantasy football. Hope every team is prepared. It's a huge week. If you are on the fringe, hopefully you figure this out. If you're heading for the playoffs, congratulations. We're going to help give you some advice to stack your team up. Maybe you can win a championship. We're going to get to Miss Ella's pick 6. You're going to want to tune in to see how Ella's doing. And then, of course, I got a couple gambling recommendations for you. You can make a couple money. What else? What you got, Ella?
let's do what we do every morning by starting this amazing show.
Okay, we can start with our Pledge of Allegiance. I will. Okay, Miss Ella, what do you say?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Play ball. Thank you for that, Miss Ella and Miss Amelia. And thank you for...
Oh yeah, we're just getting settled in here.
Is this the real one or is this orange juice before I
it's
take a big
real.
gulp? I don't want to get tricked on a mimosa again.
No, it's real.
Okay, this is the real one. Let's go.
Yeah,
Cheers.
so we're here, committed to 10 a.m. start time. So a little choppy, but you could see what's going on behind the
Cheers
scenes.
to 10 a.m. There were some
Cheers to
doubts
10
whether we would
a.m..
ever get off at 10. We did. A little bit of a rocky start, but I think we're ready to go.
We
A
good.
couple cute faces in the building, Brian. We started the
Yeah.
pledge without you. Sorry.
It's all good. I made it in for the best part of it, so
It's cool.
we're all right. We're trying to get Aubrey and camera here. She's a little camera shy this morning.
Little camera shy. Like I said, family show. We got all the nieces in the house.
Yeah. So
Please, Bree.
You can come say a quick appearance, and then you guys can go head upstairs, and we're going to get to the boring football talk.
yeah. What a snoozer. Anywho,
Okay.
Thanks,
well, I
children.
think Miss
We'll catch you
Breeby
back
said no,
later.
but we will catch you later for Ella's Pick 6. I'm excited to talk about Ella's Pick 6. She's above 500.
yeah.
That means if you bet all of Ella's picks, you'd be up money right now.
Yeah,
So
that's a achievement in its own right.
it's a goal. So what's up, Brian?
I don't
Let's
know.
talk about the past week.
Well, we got tulip glasses today, so we feel
Tulip
fancy.
glasses. I do feel a little fancy. I had to put mine over there. I felt like I was about to spill that bad boy.
No traditional flute glasses here for the mimosa. If you're a glass snob, I don't think there's many out there.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know.
So, yeah, I was trying to post up a couple of videos, preview this thing up. Stream starting soon videos. Didn't quite get that going on time, but anyway, if you caught any of that.
Yeah, we got Tom Brady's jersey hanging.
Yeah.
I'll fix that here
I
in a
said the
second.
wheels fell off a little bit. You actually can't even see that on the screen, so
Yeah, there's just
no
a big
worries.
blank spot in the middle.
That's
all,
okay.
It's all good.
maybe that's an omen for that. I think that team's on a bye week anyway, so
Yeah, Baker kind of he let me down last week, but I think it was overdue for kind of a
Yeah,
downturn after
last
the
week-
production.
it seemed like a lot of pump the brakes on a few guys last week.
Yeah, I don't know. Like Baker was single-handedly holding that team up. And maybe he just got he stiff-armed Nick Bosa in the face.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
pretty
and
cool.
Still got a.
I don't know.
That was a really cool pass he got.
There's some
off.
jokes there about skin color. I won't get into that. But
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, he's on a bye now, so
Yeah, a couple
forced to sit him.
buys again this week, so hopefully you got options suitable. I know a lot of teams are in a playoff push right now, so and it's crazy that there's bye weeks these last 3 weeks of the fantasy season, so that puts a lot of teams in some sticky situations, especially if you're within one game of a playoff spot. You might get screwed
Yeah.
over like by having a couple buys in these next couple weeks. So hopefully you can look over these rankings, you can figure out some suitable replacements, and hopefully you can
trying
get in
to-
your playoffs.
Log into the chat over here.
Because the playoffs is the goal for this. You want to keep going. You want this to not end. You know what I mean? Like, because this is fun, and we're nearing the end. We're closer to the end than we are the start, and especially for some people, some teams are not going to make the playoffs. We're gonna hope you can figure something out here. So last week, speaking of Thursday night game, there was a couple duds in that game. So to owners of Devonta Smith or Terry McLaurin, I'm sorry, guys. That was tough. You expect certain people to get certain points and things out of their performance, and
Yeah, you ran a pretty enticing parlay by me.
yeah,
Let's try to. I think it was spread for the Commanders.
yeah,
50 yards receiving for McLaurin.
Yep.
60 yards rushing for Barkley. Anytime touchdown score, Brian Robinson Jr.
and Barkley.
and Barkley. And I made a little modification. I took the Commanders on the money line, and I took the Barkley anytime touchdown off,
Okay.
and then I added Jaden Daniels 200 yards passing. You had a 175.
A little bit short.
First drive of the game, Brian Robinson goes down, gets the touchdown.
Gets the touchdown.
I'm like, man, I'm cruising. This is gonna happen. And then, yeah, passing game non-existent. I don't know what was going on with Jaden Daniels. He cut his finger. He's on the sideline, just looking all just like lackadaisical. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
rookie
it got a
slump.
little tough to watch
Yeah.
after the first like drive or two there, because it looked like this was going to be a typical shootout for the first two drives, and then it was like, I believe 7-0, 7-3 at halftime. So like it was an under better's dream. But I sent you the original parlay, and only one of those things missed. But I made a couple modifications trying to make a couple extra bucks, and I actually ended up going 6 out of 10, and 3 of the things that missed for me had to do with McLaurin. So
Yeah, of
it was tough. And then I had Washington just to not lose by 6, and they lost by 8. I was pretty close right there, but you know, parlays are fun. Just want to make a couple extra bucks, but
Yeah.
you know, safe bets. I would have still bet Commanders plus 5.5. I think that's what the spread was. That would have took a loss there, but that's what I would have bet anyway. But yeah, so that was a tough Thursday night game as we're moving along to the Sunday slate. And, you know, there's a lot of action today. There's a couple big decisive games. Kansas City and Buffalo face off. Cincinnati and Los Angeles Chargers face off. Pittsburgh and Baltimore. Those are probably 3 of the biggest games today. And, you know, these are like, you know, some of the teams that you expect to be there in the end. I know the Bengals record doesn't necessarily show it, and the Chargers are kind of a surprise. But, yeah, some big games this week in the actual NFL. And then in most fantasy leagues matchup, like I said, a lot of people are fighting for these playoff spots, so you don't want to be left out.
I think we're having some network troubles here. I can't get on the internet. It says the stream's still going. Can't log into the chat. Oh, nope, it's going. It's just going snail pace.
Yeah, it's a little slow. There's probably a lot of devices. Like I said, there's a
Yeah.
lot of the nieces here. I know my phone wasn't going, so I disconnected from the Wi-Fi. Maybe we can get a couple of the other nieces to disconnect from the Wi-Fi here. We're just overloading. Like I said, big
Yeah.
family show, and we got a lot of the crew in the house today. And I'm not having it any other way. I love when they're here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I can't get on internet here.
Well, so I got some stuff loaded up. If we wanted to move along with some of the fantasy rankings, and while you try to load it up, I can just talk us through it here. Like I said,
I think you have to talk us through.
we're just going through our regular motions.
Yeah.
So in the quarterback rankings, the top 10 is obviously very typical. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Brock Purdy, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Bo Nix, Jared Goff, and rounding out the top 10 on my list, because I left off the 2 Thursday night quarterbacks, is Russell Wilson. And that's a guy last week we wanted to put a little awareness out for him, and he had a decent week again. And then now he's the top ranked quarterback for this week, ranked in the top 10. So good for him. Let Russ cook. Also rounding out, you know, top 10 or 12, Patrick Mahomes, CJ Stroud. And CJ Stroud, I actually like this matchup. It's a Monday night game, so if you got to wait a day for that, that might be a little tough for your situation. But CJ Stroud has a really good matchup, and he gets Nico Collins back this week. So,
Oh, yeah, Nico Collins, that's been his guy. I mean, we know CJ Stroud's kind of been on a slide for the last few weeks, but we'll see if he can bounce back to his usual self.
And I feel like when he's there, it opens up the offense for the rest of the people. They can, instead of just honing in on the younger receivers or whatever, Nico's going to get a big target share, and it's pretty exciting. I also own Nico in a league, and then Jamie owns him in one, and we're hoping that he comes back and has himself a good week. And it looks like you're getting everything loaded up there, so that's fun, because we will go over. It's obviously better when you can see it on screen, so hopefully that works out. Rounding out the
I
top.
got it up now, so we got the quarterbacks here. You can continue to verbalize.
Yeah, you know, like I said, the top 10, start all of those guys right there. I'm sure pretty much everybody owns those guys. In the 10 to 20 range, you know, if you got a guy on a buy, there's a couple viable options. I actually like Aaron Rodgers for this week. They have not looked good lately, and I just, you know, I'm a typical trends end type of guy, so I just see him actually having a good game. I don't know if their playoff hopes are realistic, but they're not mathematically eliminated. So I guess if you got a shot, you still got to fight. So, other than that, also towards the bottom of the top 20. Matt Stafford, I just like his matchup today. Again, he's got a good receiving core there. I said he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. He's somebody, he's probably available on most waiver wires too if you got one of your starters on the bye this week. Kirk Cousins is available low, going against a tough Denver defense, but I'm not afraid to start Kirk Cousins. So
No, he's definitely put up enough solid performances that you should be comfortable with that.
yeah. And I'm in a situation next week where, because I own Joe Burrow in all my leagues, and Joe Burrow's on a bye next week, so I'm going to have to pick out of a guy like these. And, you know, this is why I keep an eye on a range like this, and you should too, depending on when your typical quarterback or your main quarterback has his bye week. You know, you want to be able to lock in on somebody for that specific week. I got most of my teams on a bye next week, so I'm not sure it's going to matter, but I'm going to put forth a good attempt, you know.
Yeah. While you're over there, can you pull up YouTube on your laptop? That way we can see the chat. I can't get in the chat through the stream software at the moment. Technical difficulties, everybody. If you've ever tried to stream before, I'm sure you're well aware. So yeah,
and
log in the YouTube over there. That way we can monitor the chat that way. You know, I guess you don't have to log into it, but you could pull this stream up.
yeah, no, let me see what I can do here. So
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, working through that. How's everybody's Sunday morning going? Can't hear you in the chat, but we'd love to hear from you once we get it going. You know, the chat definitely brings a different element to the show, helps us engage you. We really like those questions. You know, I think we're just getting family and friends on the channel right now, so it can get a little dry at times. If we got chat going, that really helps us out. Maybe it'll help get us out there. Chat engagement, that's probably a metric YouTube looks at. I don't know, they're looking at everything. The algorithm is a mystical thing.
So I don't know, but like I'm logged in here on this music. If this helps, like you can look in my YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me see here what I got. Oh dang, I stopped the music in the background. We keep that going because
We
that
got
clips us
10
from
viewers
being
on
dry.
YouTube. I think that's
10
a peak
viewers,
for
let's
us.
go.
I think we've had
Everybody,
10 subsequent
we do
viewers.
not understand exactly the chat and all of that, but trying to figure this out. So, I don't know.
Figure it out.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm
can you
doing.
pull it up on your phone? Okay.
You want to check it out on this tablet here?
Yeah, I can do that.
Well, it might stop the music. Do you think it's probably going to stop the music, though? It's probably going to stop the
Yeah.
music.
You got your phone on
Yep,
you?
I got it right here. Let's go right here because you're the expert for that. It would take me a minute, and I'm like the voice. I'm better at being the voice, and you're better at being this. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm in here, and then you can figure this out from here, and then obviously if you need me to sign in, if it goes in and out, whatever. But anyway, back to some just typical rankings. Quarterback. I'll move along to running back real quick while you're figuring that out. The running back rankings, Christian McCaffrey, a lot of owners are happy. They got a little taste of him last week. I think he has a big game this week now that he got his feet wet last week. So Christian McCaffrey owners, round of applause. Help is on the way. So a lot of people aren't as fortunate in the leagues I'm in where I own him. I've still done pretty well and I'm a playoff team, but a lot of people were treading water just waiting for him to come back. So hopefully that works out for owners of Christian McCaffrey. Rounding out the top 10, like I said, everybody's starting those guys. Top 20-ish here. Matchup I don't like, James Cook. It's tough against that Kansas City defense. You know, it's a real tough matchup. He does get high volume usage, so he's pretty much end zone dependent. So James Cook owners, tread lightly this week. I do like David Montgomery. Garbage time touchdowns. I expect a blowout for the Lions. So
Hey, those are the ones that make me nervous. It seems like when they absolutely should win a game, it gets a little sketchy.
So that's typically how I would bet. We can get into that kind of talk when we get to the betting stuff. I'd be a little weary, however. Man, the Lions are if you're watching football and you're smart, they're like they look good. So what are you gonna do? You know, like I don't think Jacksonville stands a chance, but who knows? I was wrong the week before because I thought Green Bay had a chance and they did not. So, like I said, David Montgomery season, also Jahmyr Gibbs. Those guys are finding the end zone, I swear. That could easily be a 40-point game. Shout out to our father-in-law going to the game today. I hope he has a good time there too.
Yeah. And my wife Allie's going too, bringing her dad. That's gonna be cool.
Good times. In the 20 to 30 range, this is where I'd rather take a shot on somebody than trust some of these big names. So Audric Estime, I don't know if that's how you say it right, in Denver. He's a guy I would take a shot on if I had to, as opposed to someone who's like maybe less available in a typical starter like Etienne or Eckler or I'm sorry, not Eckler, Najee Harris. So, you know, this is the range where if you're already thin at running back, you might as well take a chance on somebody as opposed to hoping somebody who hasn't been performing well and you're just
We got the chat up, courtesy of Aubrey's cell phone.
Let's go.
Let's take a look
See?
here. We got some questions in the chat.
Chat, let's go. Let's handle the chat for a minute
let's
because the
handle the
rankings are
chat.
boring right
Yeah,
now.
let's jump out.
Loosen
the
up a little.
rankings. All right,
Chat,
we're
what's
back
good?
on
How's it
camera
going?
only. Chat,
Thanks for tuning in.
We got Jaws in the chat. She is a supporter every week, just pumping us up. That's
Jaws,
all.
thank you, man. That
Thanks,
really
Jaws.
means a lot. Thank you.
Miss Jaws. And then we got Jake Fidowski in here.
Jake.
Full PPR, flex Quentin Johnston or Dawson Knox.
I'm partial because I've been a Quentin Johnston owner for last year in the Dynasty League and this year. That's where I'm going.
We got
Dawson
the
Knox.
wide receiver tight end debate.
Yeah,
I
and
think I'm 95% of the time I'm taking the wide receiver regardless.
and
So.
then we're